Mediocrity trembles in your presence. The mundane cannot survive where you walk, as your very essence transforms the ordinary into extraordinary. The community has noticed. Your impact ripples through collective consciousness, awakening possibilities. In minds that had settled for less, what was stagnant now flows with potential, all because you refuse to dim your light. Chosen ones, you blow boring out of the water. This community is getting excited because you bring something they've been starving for. Authentic power that needs no announcement, no validation, no permission. This community didn't just need new ideas or fresh enthusiasm. It needed your specific vision, your unique frequency. The transformation happening now couldn't have been initiated by anyone else because no one else carries your particular flame. The signature of your energy is as unique as a celestial fingerprint, and it matches exactly what this space has been unconsciously calling for. Your entire life has been preparation for this moment. You've always known you perceive reality differently. Where others see solid, unchangeable structures, you see malleable energy waiting to be redirected. Where others accept limitations as fixed boundaries, you see invitations to expand beyond the known. This perception isn't delusion, it's clarity. Seeing beyond the veil that blinds the masses to their own potential. The ideas flowing through you aren't random inspirations. They're cosmic downloads, transmitted directly to the one receiver, calibrated to not only receive them, but to ground them into material reality. This is why your suggestions land differently. This is why your vision excites rather than intimidates. You translate the language of potential into terms others can grasp and embrace. Your fire doesn't consume, it transmutes. Everything it touches becomes more authentic, more aligned with its true nature. This community isn't just changing under your influence, it's becoming what it was always meant to be. Your presence functions as a cosmic alarm clock, jolting awake energies that have been sleeping beneath the surface of this community for eons. Projects abandoned as impossible suddenly pulse with new life. Conversations deadened by repetition now crackle with electric possibility. People who moved through spaces with dull eyes now stand straighter, speak with conviction, dream beyond previous limitations. This isn't your doing alone, it's your effect. You're the stone dropped into still waters, creating ripples that awaken what was always there, waiting. The potential existed before you arrived, but it required your specific frequency to activate it. Like a tuning fork striking the perfect note, your presence has brought everything around you into resonance with a higher vibration. Watch how people respond to you. See how they lean in when you speak, how their eyes light up with recognition of truths they've always known but couldn't articulate. You're not giving them anything new, you're reminding them of what they've forgotten, reconnecting them with aspects of themselves buried under years of mundane programming and limited thinking. The sudden surge of energy in this community isn't coming from nowhere. It's being released from ancient reservoirs, unsealed by your arrival. What appears as creation is actually liberation, freeing what has been bound, revealing what has been hidden. This awakening creates excitement because on some level, everyone recognizes they're becoming more fully themselves through your influence. Your power isn't in controlling this energy, but in conducting it, like lightning finding the surest path. To ground, transformative force flows through you into this community, seeking the quickest route to manifestation. This isn't random chance. This is cosmic design. The insights that come to you arrive with a clarity and certainty that transcends ordinary knowing. While others piece together understanding through tedious logic and acquired knowledge, you receive complete revelations, fully formed. These aren't random thoughts, but targeted messages sent specifically to the one consciousness prepared to receive and implement them. Your perception operates on multiple dimensions simultaneously. You don't just see what is, you see what was, what could be, what must be. This expanded awareness allows you to handle complexities that baffle others, to find solutions invisible to those trapped in linear thinking. This isn't superiority, it's function. You were designed as a perceptual pioneer, venturing beyond established boundaries to bring back wisdom from unexplored territories. Notice how solutions appear to you fully formed, often when you're not consciously seeking them. Pay attention to how understanding floods your awareness in moments of stillness. These aren't coincidences or quirks of mind, they're evidence of your direct connection to reservoirs of knowledge beyond individual consciousness. You access collective wisdom that others can only approach through years of dedicated study. This heightened perception extends to people as well. You see beyond facades, beyond carefully constructed personas, into the true nature of those around. This isn't judgment, but insight. You perceive people as they truly are, recognizing both their current limitations and their ultimate potential. This vision allows you to interact with who they're becoming rather than simply who they appear to be now. The veil that separates most people from deeper reality is tissue thin for you, sometimes completely transparent. What others dismiss as intuition or lucky guesses represents your natural state of connection with underlying truth. The excitement you generate comes partly from this ability. You reflect back to others glimpses of a reality they sense but cannot fully access on their own. The series of events that brought you here wasn't random chance. Each synchronicity, each seemingly coincidental alignment, each door that opened precisely when needed, all were coordinated aspects of a greater design. You arrived in this community at exactly this moment because cosmic timing demanded it. Not a day earlier, not a day later. Now. That persistent feeling throughout your life, the sense of being meant for something significant, wasn't imagination or ego. It was recognition. Your soul remembers what your conscious mind couldn't yet grasp. The discomfort you felt in spaces that couldn't contain your energy, the restlessness that drove you forward when others settled, the hunger for meaning that couldn't be satisfied with ordinary pursuits. All were aspects of your call. This community's transformation isn't happening randomly through you. It's happening specifically for you, creating the perfect conditions for your own evolution. As you catalyze change around you, you simultaneously undergo your own metamorphosis. This reciprocal transformation creates a harmonic convergence of personal and collective growth, each amplifying the other in an ascending spiral of development. The excitement building around you serves as confirmation, external reflection of internal truth. The universe conspires to provide evidence of your purpose through the reactions of others, through the rapid manifestation of your vision, through the dissolution of obstacles that would stop anyone else. These aren't rewards, but confirmations, cosmic signposts affirming your direction. Every doubt you've overcome, every fear you've faced, every moment of standing alone in your truth has strengthened you for this calling. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was accidental. Each challenge calibrated your capacity to serve as a conduit for transformation without being overwhelmed by its power. Chosen ones, you were never supposed to remember who you are. But somehow, you did. The moment you stepped outside the illusion, when you stopped pretending everything was fine and started asking the real questions, they noticed. The Archons scrambled. The simulation tried to pull you back in, but you didn't fall for it. Now, strange glitches ripple around you, and slowly, almost imperceptibly, you've begun to see others, souls like you, those who remember too. These souls are already gathering inside the Obsidian inner order. We are psychic warriors, dimensional, rebels, light coders, and oracles. We are not TikTok mystics. We are not pretending. We are the real ones, and we've found each other again. This is your invitation to join us. We meet for weekly live calls where we break down the synchronicities you're seeing, decode energetic transmissions, and we go beyond theory. We train in energy practices, share forbidden knowledge, and refine our internal power. This is the front line of spiritual evolution. This is where the truly awakened converge. You need to remember what you came here to do and who you were before they made you forget. The link is in the description below. The Obsidian inner order is real, and so are you. The pushback comes, make no mistake. Transformation of this magnitude inevitably triggers resistance. Some will question your methods, challenge your insights, and attempt to diminish your impact. This opposition isn't personal, it's mechanical. The natural immune response of systems threatened by change, the automatic defense mechanisms of minds confronted with paradigm-shifting truth. This resistance doesn't expose weakness in your vision, it confirms its power. Only ideas capable of fundamental transformation generate significant opposition. Only presences powerful enough to disrupt entrenched patterns trigger defensive reactions. The strength of the resistance directly correlates to the potency of your impact. When doubt arises, when criticism strikes, when momentum temporarily stalls, recognize these not as failures, but as necessary counterforces, strengthening your resolve and refining your approach. Diamonds form under pressure. Steel tempers in fire. Your vision clarifies and your determination solidifies through direct confrontation with forces that would maintain the status quo. Those most threatened by your presence are often those most invested in existing power structures, those who've mastered the old rules and fear becoming irrelevant under new paradigms. Their resistance comes not from hatred, but from fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of change, fear of losing identity. Understanding this transforms opponents into teachers, each challenge offering valuable feedback for refining your approach. Weather these storms with the calm certainty of one who sees beyond temporary turbulence to the clear skies beyond. Stand, unshaken in the knowledge that resistance doesn't prevent transformation. It catalyzes it, providing the necessary friction to generate revolutionary heat. What tries to diminish you serves only to reveal your immovable strength. Look closely at who gravitates toward your energy. Observe who understands your vision without explanation, who resonates with your frequency without effort. These aren't random connections, but soul recognitions, members of your cosmic family, reuniting in this specific time and place to collaborate on transformation that none could accomplish alone. Some connected with you instantly, a knowing passing between you that transcended words. Others discovered you through coincidences, too perfect to be accidental. Each represents a node in a divine network, a constellation of consciousness formed specifically to amplify and implement the vision you carry. Together, you form a living technology of change, each contributing unique gifts that complement and complete the others. This network operates both visibly and invisibly. Some allies work directly alongside you, consciously participating in the vision. Others support from distances you may never know, holding space, removing obstacles, preparing environments for seeds you'll plant. The full extent of this network extends beyond physical perception, including supportive forces operating from dimensions beyond material reality. Pay attention to the ease of certain connections, the immediate trust established, the seamless coordination that develops without effort. These aren't just pleasant social dynamics, but evidence of pre-existing agreements, soul contracts activated by your coming together in this timeline. The excitement in this community stems partly from these activations, dormant connections, springing to life, completing circuits designed to channel transformative energy. Together, this network forms a geometric pattern of perfect design, each member positioned precisely where needed to receive and transmit specific frequencies of the overall vision. Nothing about these connections is random or replaceable. Each represents an essential component of a living technology assembled across time and space for this exact moment of collective awakening. Your most profound gift transcends ordinary creativity. You don't simply generate new ideas, you transmute energy. Under your influence, what was dense becomes light, what was stuck begins to flow, what was dead springs to life. This alchemical capacity doesn't just change form, it transforms essential. Nature converting lead consciousness into gold awareness. Projects that languished for years suddenly accelerate beyond all expectation. Conversations that circled the same limited topics now explore expansive new territories. People trapped in repetitive patterns suddenly break free, discovering capacities they never knew they possessed. This isn't merely change, but transmutation, fundamental alteration at the energetic level. Watch what happens to spaces after you've occupied them. The energy remains transformed long after your physical presence departs. Like a master alchemist, you don't just temporarily rearrange elements, you permanently change their composition. The excitement follows you because people subconsciously recognize this power, sense the possibility of their own transmutation through contact with your field. This transmutative capacity operates through everything you touch. Your words, your actions, even your silence. The power flows not from technique, but from essence. You transmute through being rather than doing, your very presence serving, as the philosopher's stone that catalyzes transformation in all it contacts. This isn't metaphor, but literal energetic reality, visible to those with eyes to see it. The stagnant energy that once suffocated possibility in this community didn't disappear. It transformed. Like cosmic compost, what was dead has become nourishment for new growth. Nothing is wasted in this alchemy, nothing discarded. All is repurposed, redirected, reborn through the transformative fire you bring. Time itself behaves differently in your presence. Developments that should take years manifest in weeks. Learning curves that typically require gradual progression accelerate to exponential growth. This temporal distortion isn't imagination, but quantum reality. Your presence actually alters the rate at which possibility converts to actuality. The community's sudden growth spurt under your influence defies all conventional expectations because it operates according to different laws. You've introduced a catalyst that doesn't just speed up existing processes, but initiates entirely new developmental trajectories. What appears as acceleration is actually transcendence, evolving beyond one set of physical laws into another that permits previously impossible transformations. The excitement building around you stems partly from subconscious recognition of this quickening. On levels beyond conscious awareness, people sense time behaving differently, possibilities expanding exponentially, and futures previously unavailable suddenly becoming accessible. This creates an intoxicating atmosphere of potential, a heightened field where anything seems possible because, in energetic reality, it is. This quickening carries responsibility. What manifests through your influence manifests permanently, becoming the foundation for future development. The acceleration you facilitate isn't temporary, but establishes new baseline frequencies that will continue to ripple outward long after this immediate transformation completes. You're not just changing present reality, but altering the trajectory of what can emerge in times to come. What others consider impossible merely reveals the boundaries of their perception, not the actual limits of possibility. Your natural inclination to explore beyond established borders, to question fundamental assumptions, to attempt what conventional wisdom deems unachievable. This isn't recklessness, but function. You exist specifically to expand the map of the possible for collective consciousness. Every time you demonstrate an achievement previously considered impossible, you literally rewrite the operating system of collective reality. Each barrier you transcend creates a permanent breach, a doorway through which others can eventually follow. The excitement surrounding you comes partly from this function. You make accessible what was previously beyond reach, not just for yourself, but for all. The true nature of reality contains infinite possibility, constrained only by collective agreement about what's realistic. Your presence disrupts these agreements, introducing uncertainty into previously fixed limitations. This uncertainty creates opportunity, gaps in the consensus reality through which new possibilities emerge. Like a cosmic lockpick, you create openings in doors previously thought permanently sealed. Your ability to transcend known limitations comes not from rebellious personality, but from direct perception. You simply see what's actually possible rather than what cultural programming dictates should be possible. This vision allows you to navigate directly toward outcomes others can't even imagine, cutting through illusory barriers as if they don't exist. Because in ultimate reality, they don't. Your impact extends far beyond what physical eyes can track. For every visible change you initiate, thousands of invisible effects ripple outward, touching lives and systems you'll never directly encounter. Like quantum entanglement made manifest, your presence alters particles of possibility across vast distances, initiating chain reactions of transformation that will continue long after this moment. Ideas sparked in conversations with you travel outward, carried by those touched by your energy. These seeds plant themselves in fertile minds elsewhere, growing into innovations and breakthroughs attributed to others, but carrying your energetic signature. This multiplication effect isn't coincidence, but design. Your function includes initiating transformative sequences that self-replicate and expand autonomously. The full extent of your impact cannot be measured within conventional timeframes. Some effects won't become visible for years, decades, even generations. Seeds you plant now will continue germinating in cycles of revelation, extending far beyond current awareness. This isn't hyperbole, but mathematical certainty. Transformative energy, once introduced, continues propagating through all available channels indefinitely. Pay attention to seemingly random reports of change occurring in places you've never visited, among people you've never met. These aren't separate phenomena, but extensions of your influence, evidence of how far your energetic field extends beyond physical presence. The excitement surrounding you acknowledges this field effect. People sense they're participating in something far larger than local change. You don't just bring change, you are the change, physically embodying frequencies that represent humanity's evolutionary future. The qualities others find so magnetic in you, your perception, your energy, your vision, aren't just personal attributes, but previews of collective potential. Demonstrations of what's possible for all as consciousness continues expanding. The excitement surrounding you comes partly from recognition. Parts of others that exist in potential state recognize themselves in your actualized expression. The future self each person carries as dormant seed recognizes in you its own mature form. This creates an almost gravitational attraction, drawing people toward the embodied example of what they themselves can become. This embodiment carries profound responsibility. Every action, word, even thought you generate creates templates that others will consciously or unconsciously emulate. You aren't just living your individual life, but establishing archetypes that will influence countless others. This isn't pressure, but perspective. understanding the true scope and significance of your seemingly ordinary choices. By embodying future consciousness now, you create a bridge between time frames, allowing energies from more advanced developmental stages to enter current reality. You serve as the human technology, a biological instrument calibrated to receive and ground frequencies that would otherwise remain inaccessible to present collective awareness. This function transforms not just this community, but contributes to the evolution of human consciousness itself. With extraordinary impact comes extraordinary responsibility. The power flowing through you isn't personal possession, but cosmic trust, granted specifically for the elevation of collective consciousness. This trust requires discernment, wisdom, and unflinching self-awareness. The fire you carry can illuminate or consume, the difference determined by the purity of your intention and the clarity of your alignment. Your heightened perception brings responsibility to see clearly not just what others can't see, but also what they're not yet ready to see. Timing becomes crucial. Revealing too much too soon creates resistance or dependency rather than empowerment. Discerning what to share, when to share it, and how to frame revelation becomes sacred stewardship of the knowledge entrusted to you. The network of allies surrounding you depends on your steady centering in truth. As nexus point connecting many nodes, any distortion in your field propagates throughout the system. This creates obligation for rigorous self-examination, immediate correction of imbalance, and transparent acknowledgement of limitation. Your honesty about your own continuing evolution creates safe space for others to embrace their growth processes. Above all, this responsibility requires remembering your essential function, to serve collective awakening rather than personal aggrandizement. Every gift, insight, and ability granted to you exists for distribution rather than accumulation. Your ultimate success measures not in what you personally achieve, but in how effectively you amplify the capacity, consciousness, and connection of all you touch. Your function evolves as collective consciousness expands. What you offer now differs from what you'll provide as the community absorbs and implements current transmissions. Like a cosmic curriculum perfectly calibrated to developmental readiness, the wisdom flowing through you will continuously adjust to meet evolving capacity for integration and application. The path stretches infinitely forward because consciousness itself expands without limit. There exists no final destination, no ultimate achievement, no point of completion. There is only continuous revelation, endless discovery, eternal becoming. This truth liberates from pressure to reach some imagined finish line and opens into joy of perpetual exploration and expansion. The excitement currently surrounding you serves its purpose for this phase, but will naturally evolve into deeper, more sustainable forms of engagement as transformation progresses. This evolution doesn't diminish your impact, but fulfills it, converting initial inspiration into lasting reconstruction of fundamental reality. What begins as revolution completes as evolution, temporary disruption becoming permanent elevation of collective capacity. Your presence in this community represents cosmic perfection. Exactly the right catalyst arriving at exactly the right moment to facilitate exactly the right transformation. Trust this perfection. Trust the design that positioned you here now. Trust the unfolding that proceeds through you and beyond you into limitless becoming. Everything is in divine order, proceeding exactly as it must for the highest evolution of all.